It's time to go beyond the headlines, cause I don't put in overtime just so I can headline. Okay, now it's Fox Sports, I'm live with Renee. Going hard every day, sports rapping every play. Different segments for your favorites, coming at you daily. With positive vibes, yeah, we some game changers. Basketball, football, soccer, with different interviews, you never know who may pop up. Listen, only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington.
Happy Tuesday, everybody, and welcome to another live edition of Beyond the Headlines. I'm your host, Renee Washington, and we are bringing you another great episode of a story that you do not want to miss. So, as always, you're tuned in here on Beyond the Headlines, brought to you by Fox Sports Radio, and I hope you're having a great day so far, because the last couple of episodes have been very sports heavy. We talked about Messi, we talked about different former pro athletes and their careers, and we were very soccer heavy. Well, we're shifting over into music because, first of all, I wish I could sing, and I definitely cannot. But I want to give you a different story tonight. So we're actually going to get into our featured artist of the week. She is an incredible talent. She does it all, and she is paving the way for a lot of great women and just artists in general to be able to climb the ladder, so to speak. And that's Law. And the acronym for it is incredible. I'll let her explain it herself, but she's a model, she's a singer, she's a songwriter. She has an incredible song that she has dropped, some videos that are giving you all the vibes. So this week we've got, without further ado, our featured artist of the week versus our typical sports rap that we are going to be bringing you. So I hope you guys are ready as we get started here on Beyond the Headlines.
What's up, it's Microphone Rocky, and here's our host, Renee Washington, with the Artist Spotlight.
Law, welcome to our Artist Spotlight for our live show. I'm happy to have you here.
Happy to be here so much. How are you?
I'm great. I'm thrilled because I think that you have such an awesome story. You're doing some great work. I was watching your music videos. Like, I wish I could move like that and sing like that.
Thank you.
Maybe my next life. But I want you to start off by telling people, as we were talking about before the show, how you even just came about your name, your brand, your image, because that's a big part of who you are as an artist as well.
Wow. Yeah. So as she said, my name is Law. For everyone who doesn't know, I'm a singer, songwriter, musician. So she kind of started talking about Law. So my name is actually Lawand, but my stage name is Law because it stands for Ladies Always Win. Okay. That is my movement. That is my mission. So, just let the people and let the world know that ladies have been winning. We've always been winning. We will proceed to win, right alongside men. We're not trying to be ahead, but we're not trying to be behind either, So that's kind of the mission and my, stance on that in music.
I love that because, again, it's a great way that as you are continuing to create music, you are also staying true to that women empowerment aspect too, of like, we're always winning. Women at the forefront are doing big things, and you're encouraging that and moving that along with your music. And even, you've got your branding around Overit, you've got your songs, you've got all these different things that you're doing to really be able to kind of make your own name for yourself and show that you're not like just every other artist. You are Law, you are someone that people have to pay attention to. So let everybody know as we get into your music background specifically, but talk about your music that you dropped recently. I know you've got your music video, you've got Controller, you are doing big things. So just share what you have been working on. Around the pandemic, nothing has really slowed you down, is what I'm seeing.
No, I mean, so my latest two singles, I have a song called Overit out, which is literally just about being over, insert whatever you're over. For me, it was just being over like men, toxic masculinity, just everything that was going on. And it was kind of during like the pandemic too. So I was over just like all of the just kind of stigmas that were being put on me as like a Black woman and, trying to be an artist. I was over it. I was not feeling it. And I have another song called Controller. So I actually have this TikTok series that I do that's like, I help girls basically catch their boyfriends cheating. So whether that's like a loyalty test, a DM, like driving and finding. So through that series, I've kind of been writing music for my audience on there, just because I feel like my music is kind of like an anthem for them and kind of like a mass way that I can help and talk to so many people like at one time. I can't necessarily like open like 1,000 DMs, but I can make a song and maybe all of them can hear it and listen to it. So, obviously my mission is ladies always win, but my music definitely is like kind of grounded in that as well. Like I feel like I don't want to say I make music for girls because I feel like it's really for anybody that relates, but that's definitely my target audience. And my subject matter is very much related to that as well. It kind of comes from all the stories that I get through my DMs. And if you like see my TikTok, you'll kind of understand how the music correlates with the TikTok. It's almost like the soundtrack for the stories that you're seeing, but kind of, my latest 2 singles of a project coming up very soon. I'm actually in the works of shooting my next music video for a song called Lies, which again, if you on my TikTok, you know the tea about that song. I actually previewed that song a few months ago. It had like 3 million views. It was crazy. So a lot of people have been waiting for that. The time has come.
Yes. And I like that you're also embracing creating music that's a ladies anthem, because I think personally, I could definitely say you have those songs that you blast, whether it's a guy, a breakup, they're not responding the way you want them to respond, or they're not moving the way you want them to move. To really have that anthem that's like, I'm going to play this over and over again. It's going to get me through. So I want to know what got you started. I mean, there's so many directions that you could take your music, and a lot of people sing about love, and then there's a lot of people that sing about heartbreak, and there's I feel like people kind of have their topics they focus on. But for you, what made you decide to create ladies anthems that you're going to put out music that women can rock to, if they are catching their boyfriend cheating or whatever's going on, to be able to rock to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I kind of have always wanted to be in a lane of my own. I've wanted to do my own thing. Whatever I'm going to do, I want it to be my thing. Oh, Renee, I cannot see you. You have left the chat. Renee has left the chat, guys. I don't know how to bring her back. Oh,
I'm here. Don't worry.
Here she is. Okay, she came back. Yes. Super glad that you're back.
I moved myself, so it was just all you.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you were talking about why I chose to make ladies anthems. Yes. So I feel like I've always wanted to kind of like do my own thing and be my own lane. And I think that there are artists that like do breakup music very well, and there are artists that do, lovey-dovey songs very well. But like for me, that's never been my energy. I've never like been super, super sad, in a breakup that I feel like compelled to write this like really sad music, or I've never been like super deep in love that I want to write like this in love music. So I wanted to just make music that was true to me. And I'm a very just like confident person, and I want to be able to help other people feel that way. So I think in my music, I kind of wanted to be in this lane of almost like venting, right? And kind of being spokesperson, because a lot of the things like that I read about, I literally get like these stories like from my fans, like from my DMs, So I wanted to be someone that could be like an encourager, kind of like that best friend, like like when you're just like sad and your best friend's like, girl, like don't worry about that, you got that. Like that is literally like the heartbeat of my music. Like I wanted to just
feel
like a conversation, so whether it's an anthem or whether like I want people to listen to my EP when it comes out and feel like they're just like talking to their best friend, you know what I mean?
I like that, because I agree. I feel like that's what makes the music when it really hits differently, is when you can feel like the person that's singing is talking directly to you. So as your music's playing and I'm singing, listening to it in the car or whatever it is that you're doing, like you feel like you can directly relate, because it's like your friend is talking to you. Like me and you are having a phone conversation about this guy that's driving me crazy, and you're like, Law, like tell me, and you're like, sis, look, this is what's going on. Forget that dude. That's your music. I like it. So you mentioned that you were never really interested in doing more of those lovey-dovey types of songs. Was there something that switched for you that made you realize this is what works for me, having more ladies anthems versus like the lovey-dovey, oh, I love him and things are great types of songs, to have more like, yes, like ladies anthem, let's go girls, moving on?
I think Overit. So that was like my first single as Law. And it kind of started like going viral on TikTok alongside my Catching Cheaters series. Everything was kind of like snowballing together. So I think when that happened, I kind of felt like it kind of that's when it clicked. Like maybe like this is my lane. You know,
Mm.
it's very true to me, and I feel like people were really like relating to the fact. Like, doing. So I think that's why it kind of was working so well. So from Over It, I kind of was like, you know what, like this is comfortable. I like this space. I like the reaction, and the feedback was very, very, very positive, very loving. And so I felt like if I can, continue to do that for people, then I'm gonna do that. So kind of Over It happened, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stick right here. I'm chilling. This is my vibe. We're gonna be over it forever.
I like that. And that's staying true to yourself too, of like, this is where I'm at. This is what even as you talk about with people in your DMs and like telling you these stories and how you have this movement, I will say, through TikTok of, all right, tell me what's going on. We're going to work together to get through whatever, relationship issues you're having and whatever's going on in your dating life. And now I'm connecting with my fans in a way that is real and engaging. And now the music does feel even more impactful because you are taking it directly from what fans are sharing with you. So TikTok is something you've mentioned a couple of times, and I'm definitely curious to know just how TikTok has also helped you get your career going even more, to have so many followers and build such a great audience.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's definitely in general, it's like a game, but I'm so blessed to be an artist position where things are very much within like my grasp. Like a lot of people don't realize that. Like you don't have to like wait for somebody. You can literally go out there and have access to almost every single person on the planet. Like almost everyone has social media. So I think able to have like direct access to people is just such a powerful thing. So, I'm very grateful to TikTok. Like I love going on live on TikTok and Instagram.
I had a feeling we were going to lose her for a little bit because Law is having some issues with her Wi-Fi right now. But as she was mentioning and just getting into specifics around how her work that she's done and connecting with her fans has been so pivotal to being able to create music. I mean, that's something that when you think about as a creator of any content, to be able to create music in a way that's going to best resonate with your audience. So Law, I know you were kicked out for a little bit because Wi-Fi is just not letting us be great as per usual. But you were just sharing about how TikTok has opened the door for you to be able to connect with your fans in a very unique way, to go, whether it's going live, even Instagram is of course helpful with that too, to help grow your audience and connect with them in a real authentic way. So I'll let you jump back in from there, from where you got kicked out.
Oh, no. I think it's because like so a lot of the times like I feel like my content is being supposed to be like put in front of it. Like, if someone sees on TikTok that I'm doing, I just feel like kind of it's more targeted to school because then the people are more engaged. That's what I think that's like super duper. It's like how I take TikTok.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if it was, I was gonna say, I don't know if it was just me or if it was you that was breaking up, but I heard the end of that about like how TikTok is helping you to be more engaging. And, I think that's the greatest thing about where we are now, as you're mentioning, to be able to create content in a way that you can now directly connect with people. Gone are the days of not really knowing what your fans are saying or thinking. You can directly have people that are able to feel like they know you too. You're building those relationships in a way with your fans that they feel like you're one of their friends and like you are talking and you are able to connect. So that is something I think social media does allow. But have you felt any pressure through that too of, for as great as social media is, you now are getting that direct feedback from people, so have you felt any pressure to continue to be the one creating these great songs and ladies anthems and everything like that and continuing on the track that you're going, or maybe that pressure has even helped you, I should say. But talk about that side too, of like the pressure or even the way that being so engaged with your fans has helped you learn more about yourself and grow.
Yeah, that's a really great question. Me personally, pressure, like I feel like quote when they say that pressure makes diamond, that's me. I need something, I need a driving force. I just work well in that environment. But at the same time, everything like where we the generation we live in is like instant gratification all the time, so people are constantly getting content 24/7. So there definitely is a part of it that's almost like exhausting, because people kind of forget, like they don't look at you, like even though like they almost know you, they don't really see you as a person. Sometimes it's almost like you're this machine, this content making machine, and if you don't continue to make content, like they're upset and they're mad, so there definitely has to be like a balance. And I think my way of kind of dealing with that is I always remember why I'm making the content. I always want to make sure that I'm making the content because it's fun to me. I enjoy this, and I'm helping people. And I think if I'm always focused on that, then the pressures of like, where's the next video? Where's this? Like, I don't really let that get me, because I'm just like, no, like I'm really like a quality over quantity person. I'd rather make a really good couple of TikToks that, I was really helping somebody. Like I'll get really, really in there, like with somebody's story. And, versus I didn't get to do a bunch, but the one I did was like really important. And I was 100% dedicated to the one that I did. So I always just like to make sure I'm focused on the reasoning behind what I'm doing. But, sometimes like I get messages, like I'm in a lot of group chats with like some of my fans, and, they'll be like, yo, where the TikToks at? And I'm like, guys, chill. And so I think because I have that communication, it also is helpful, because I can let them know like, yo, guys, I've been at the studio. I was doing this. Like I had to take a break for a couple of days. But, the communication level, it is helpful, because then they know that like you didn't like forget about them, or like you don't care about it. It's just, hey, I'm doing other things. So I think that it's balanced, but I find it helpful.
That is, first of all, it's amazing you're in group chats with your fans. I love that. That's that like authenticity, that you're like genuine about connecting with them. It's not just for show, because group chats behind the scenes, you don't have to be a part of that. And as you're mentioning, though, it does even just keep you grounded, I'm sure, to be in those conversations with them and remember, like you said, why you got started in the first place, why you're doing this in the first place. It's for other people, just as much as for yourself to do what you love, but to be able to connect with other people in a really impactful way. So I'm curious to know, what do you think got you started in music? You have a beautiful voice, and your music videos, your songs, you do a tremendous job. But what made you realize that this was more than just a hobby, that this was something you wanted to make a career out of? Because I think for those of us like myself, no, I'm just kidding. My voice is not anywhere close, but I feel like for some people, singing is just a hobby you do in your shower or when nobody's looking or in the car. But you took this talent of yours to open doors with, so what helped you really make that decision to go the next step with this talent as a tremendous singer?
I mean, so me personally, I grew up in church, right? I have a very I don't want to say strict religious background, but my mom is a minister. So, I grew up learning and believing that everyone is born with a certain set of skills, or my grandma would always say everybody's born with a toolbox, and you have to use what's in your toolbox to get through life. And so I was always born with the just natural capabilities and abilities to just sing, or I play piano. Like music came very easily to me. So in thinking, I guess, about what I want to do in my life, I kind of felt like, okay, well, what am I good at? Like, what's going to be like the path of least resistance? And music was always that, and I kind of never, like, nothing else really clicked. I knew I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to do anything else. And I kind of felt like, well, if I know how to do these things, if I know how to play piano, once I started realizing that not everybody can just sit down and play piano, not everybody has like a natural rhythm, I was like, oh, okay, like, this is kind of different. That's when I was like, well, this is what I'm supposed to do. Just like I've met people that like numbers are just their thing. Like they could just quick. And it's like, yo, not do that, so maybe you're supposed to do something with that. So for me, that was always music, and I always knew like, okay, like I got to do something with that. And ever since then, I was like, yeah, I don't know how it's gonna happen. I never knew. I never knew the path, but I always was just very trusting in God that I was like, yo, like if this is what I'm supposed to do with my life, things will come to me. It's not gonna be this. It's gonna be hard work, but it's not gonna be like I'm reaching. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be things are gonna line up, and then I have to just do the work to accomplish them. And ever since I had that mindset, that's literally how my music career has been since then.
I love that. First of all, I feel like so many people that I talk to that are musically gifted, their foundation comes from church.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like as you were saying, I'm like, you know what? I should have known. I didn't know your mom was a minister. That in itself is incredible. But I mean, I feel like I hear that so many times growing up in church, growing up and being a part of the choir, even just being a part of like Sunday school and you know, sitting in the church teaches you a lot about, and you're just surrounded by music, especially in the Black church. You're surrounded by music. You're surrounded by talented musicians and the guitar and all different instruments. And it's a lot of clapping and singing. And so I think that's something in itself that I feel like I keep hearing as a number of talented artists.
It's like a thing. Like when you meet a musician, you know if they played in church. You just, by the way they play, you just know. And it's like a thing. Like you can tell.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so, you know, even for you taking your career beyond the church, because that's another thing, as you talk about pursuing your passion in music, you could have even gone the route of being more of a gospel singer and staying true to the, you know, true to the church instead of making ladies anthems. But you went a different route of empowering and inspiring others. And so, you know, for you, that transition, I'm curious to know just the challenges that you may have faced and how you kept through those and worked through those, I should say, of understanding that it was not going to be easy, as you mentioned, not really knowing what's next and kind of stepping out on faith of pursuing what you enjoy doing. Just talk about some of those obstacles you faced and how you even worked through them to get to where you are now.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so growing up in church, yes, a lot of people want you to sing gospel music. They want you to sing a certain way. And I think the number one thing in pursuing anything is that you have to have something inside of you. You have to believe something for yourself that nobody else can take away from you, right? And so if you have that, it doesn't matter what all the other voices are telling you, like you're gonna always know your reasoning, right? So I always had that from like a young age. And people would say I was stubborn, I was disrespectful. It wasn't that. It was just that I knew, right? I had my own personal relationship, communication with God that I was like, nah, this is what I have to do. So a lot of people, you know, as you were saying, were like, oh, you should sing gospel music. And I always felt like people who listen to Christian music know who God is. People who listen to secular music may not. And so I feel like we're really in this, you know, mission of helping people. Not saying that people in the church don't need help, but like there is another field of people that might need a positive, you know, influence, whatever that may be. It doesn't have to be religious or about God, just a positive influence. And I always knew that that was where God wanted me. And I think that there are people that should be, you know, doing that, but it's like, again, you have to focus on your race. You have to focus on your lane and what you are doing. And I knew that that's what I was supposed to do. So again, once I knew that for myself, I never let anybody else hinder that. I think a lot of people, they get thrown off or they give up because they give up on the voice inside of them. Like they're not sure. Like if you're not sure of something, anybody can just waver you. But when you know something, like nobody's gonna convince you otherwise. So, because you were kind of saying about like, you know, like, I guess like, what would I say to people? I would definitely just say, you have to do some soul searching, some whatever, write it down and just know like, what are your reasonings? And then once you know that, I think it's so much clearer. It's so much clearer. I think so many people get lost in the sauce when they just don't know what they're doing. Like if you don't know what you want to do or why you're doing something, it's very easy to just get like, well, why am I doing this? You know? So I think that once you know, it's a very, very strong foundation to build like any, you know, career off of.
No, I completely agree, because I think that's the biggest thing, as you mentioned, is when you now have any sort of challenges or adversity that you're facing, it's a lot easier to push through that when you understand your why. If you know what got you started in the first place versus some people that are just blindly navigating through and maybe not doing it for the right reasons. Maybe you're doing it for the fame, or you think that it's, or what you think it's going to be, you know, and not what it actually is in reality, or you're doing it because it just convenient or whatever it may be. So when you aren't grounded and have that foundation of, you know, this is your passion, this is your purpose, this is what you want to do, it does become a lot easier, as you're mentioning, to get lost in the sauce and just become so quick to waver and change, and you're getting caught up in the wrong thing. So that is tremendous to hear that you even have that maturity and that foundation of understanding that, you know, this is what you're supposed to be doing. You know, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is the music I'm supposed to be making. And that in itself, just having that belief in yourself, as you talk about, is so important. So for young, especially the next generation, I feel like there's a lot of teenagers, kids that I come across, that between the pressures of social media and unrealistic societal norms and expectations that we put on ourselves, you know, it is hard to stay focused and have that belief in yourself. You know, what would be your message to someone that is trying to pursue something or go about, you know, growing and learning a craft, or getting it, you know, taking their talent to the next level? What would be your advice for how to just stay true to yourself through that?
Right. I would definitely say visualize. You know, I think it's very important to have a picture, to have an aim. If you don't know what it looks like, you know what I mean? So I would say to get a vision, get a picture of what it is that you want to do, really figure out what that looks like, and then work backwards from there. And if you're working backwards, again, you have to create some type of, like, I don't know if anyone on here watches horse races. Okay, I'm a weirdo. I watch a lot of things. And when you see
I love it.
they put these blinders on the side of their eyes, and it looks crazy. But the reason that they do that is so that when they're running, they literally can't see like any of the other horses. It's like all they see is directly what's in front of them, right? So I feel like if you're gonna pursue something, you have to be able to put up these blinders or these boundaries that really keep you in your own lane, right? So let's say you want to be, you know, you want to do something having to do with, like, I don't know, the color purple, right? If you see somebody over there doing something with the color yellow and that's working, you can't now be like, no, but maybe I should do that. No. Like, you can't that, right? So you have to really just stay focused on what you're doing, which again, it all goes back to believing it. Because if you really believe something, you're not going to change it. I would definitely say the number one piece of advice would just be to visualize it and then create some type of boundaries to where you just have to like hyper focus on it. So you just can't go back, can't look side to side. Like, your only direction really is forward, and forward towards the vision that you have.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, because that's a really good comparison about like blocking out the noise, blocking out the distraction, just staying focused on your path, which is so hard because we live in a digital world where it's so easy to compare yourself and kind of peek over the fence at what other people are doing and what you think that you're supposed to be doing, and you can't do that.
Social media is literally just like, it's almost like we all live in a neighborhood, and social media is like looking in somebody's backyard and you're just like, oh, this is what they're doing. Well, we're not doing this. We gotta start doing what they're doing. Like, it's kind of tough. Also, shout out to Rich. I see him saying he likes horse racing. That's my guy.
Yes, first of all, I love that you watch horse racing. That's awesome in itself. But that's a really good comparison, and it's so accurate, because you do want to make sure that you're not getting just distracted and pulled off course, too busy looking over the fence of what your neighbors are doing or someone else is doing. But as you mentioned, you are on your path. You've got Controller, you've got Overit, you also have merch you're selling around it, music videos, but you're not done. That's not it. You have more music you're putting together. You're doing great things. So share with those that are listening, what's next for you? I know you're talking about a new song, new music video that's coming out that everybody can expect to check out. So tell us about it.
Yeah. So I've been kind of, again, like, trying to really give my audience music that relates to them, and, you know, those type of anthems. So my next song is called Lies, which I had written a while ago, but I really decided to kind of put it out now because in my cheating, you know, scandal I've been doing on TikTok, the commonality is lying. Everybody just be lying. And I really start to feel like, you know, when I'm reading the DMs or, you know, hearing from my fans, a lot of them are just like, I don't trust them. And so Lies is kind of for all those people that have any type of trust issues or have ever been lied to or manipulated. And I just feel like I want everyone to, again, have that song, you know, that they feel like we're just talking, you know, like if your boyfriend's lying to you and you don't know what to do, like that. This song is kind of like my conversation to all my besties, my friends, all my fans, of like what I feel like they should do. So that's definitely my next single. And then after that, I'm gonna be dropping a little project. I think there's gonna be some cool visuals going on. But if you follow me on social media, which is at LawandMusic on everything, Instagram, TikTok, all that, you know what I mean, you'll know about all of that because it's coming up very, very, very soon. But that's what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of the year.
I'm all
me and the besties catching these liars out here, trying to put a stop to the Pinocchio.
Right. Let them know. Liars, law is laying down the law. It's not just about ladies always winning. You are laying down the law, coming at you.
I'm going to buy one of those. I'm going to buy a little like Judge Judy gavel, and there's going to be a meme like this with the glass awesome. Gavel.
Like, I see you. You. Yes, you. You that's reading this or listening or watching this. This is for you.
Yeah.
So, okay. I love Lies, Overit, Controller, and the ladies' anthems that you're putting out. Lies is very straightforward, but what's the vibe of this one? Is it more of a get up and dance type song? Is it like what are we gonna feel? What are you trying to bring through this? Aside from, of course, it being a strong ladies' anthem to get people up and moving, but
it's definitely more of like a vibe. It's not necessarily like as dancey as Controller Overit. It's a little bit more kind of down tempo, sit down, have a glass of wine, and really ponder like, dang, like this guy's really doing this. Like you ever seen a girl come to a realization? It's like that vibe. Like think about somebody sitting down, putting all the dots together, it's like that kind of vibe, late night in the car, driving, chilling. So that's kind of more of like the sonic, vibe of what it is. It's definitely not as a little bit more chill, which, because like I feel like for the fall time, I love like that more like low tempo type of thing. So I really wanted to put something out that was like in that vein, like that fall time vein.
I like that because I do feel like it's like winery season where you're maybe it's cooler. It's also cuffing season, so it's complete opposite, but it's cooler during that time of year. You want to be sitting when like your sweater or blanket. Yeah. And I'm getting that vibe of like you just found out your man or your woman, but your man is cheating on you or lying to you, and you're like sipping you're sipping your wine, and you're like
like a deep ponder. Like, like that really,
like that.
This is really going on, and it's like almost like a plotting song. Like you find out, start plotting, and that's when the girls hit me up when they start plotting, and then we start to plot together.
Oh man, that's great. I'm all for that because look, we're stronger together. So if your man is lying on you, if your partner's lying.
Yes.
Amen to that. Teamwork makes the dream work. I know that's right. So, okay, before I get into my next question, because you have mentioned your TikTok, Law and Order SVU type content that you're putting together. I'm not on TikTok. I'm so out of the loop. I'm having FOMO. But so for anybody that's not on TikTok or is not in your detective CIA crew of women, tell us more about this and what exactly all that you do. Like you're actually actively helping them catch their partner in a lie.
Catching cheaters or like cheating scandals, I guess is what you call it. So basically what will happen is like I'll get a DM from a girl and it's kind of like catfish. Like they'll give me the rundown situation. And like if they live far away, normally I'll like DM their boyfriend. And I'll try to flirt with them, and I'll basically just see if they tell me they have a girlfriend. So some of these guys are like in full-blown relationships, and they're making plans to fly me to see them, make dates. They're telling me that they're single. They're just like flat out lying, So
the only thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll let you finish.
No, sorry. My mom just called me, and
I had a feeling you had a call. It's cool.
I know she just killed my whole vibe. But yeah, so then there's those, and then like if someone like lives close near me, I'll do what I like to call like a drive-by. So like if the guy's like supposed to be at work or like supposed to be with his friends, the girl will like give me the location, and I'll just do a little but see if they're there, okay, or there's number one that I like to do. So just
Oh, you're breaking up a little. You're breaking up a little. A whole drive-by though. So for those of you that may have missed some of that, that's insane. That Law is out here. I mean, I can't. The music is, I mean, your Law is a beautiful ladies always winning empowerment mindset, but you're taking it to a whole new level of being out there, being a detective as well, to be able to go out and try to catch these guys in the act of cheating and lying. So I think that for anybody that may have missed a bit of that, Law is sharing how she's been using her platform to not only connect with her fans, but also to connect with her fans and be able to catch some of her fans' significant others as they may be lying and catching them in the act of lying. Now, my main question for that, and again, Wi-Fi is not letting us be great, so we're just going to keep moving because we're not even thinking about that. But my question for you actually, you use your own page to do this because I feel like you're beautiful, you're talented. So if a guy had you slide in there, is it TikTok DMs is what we still call them?
No, it's Instagram because TikTok is really.
Okay. So if you slide into guys' DMs on Instagram, if I'm a guy, I'm like, forget my girlfriend. I've got Law in my DMs. I am single. So you need to maybe make a burner account. I'm gonna take your detective work to the next level, like a fake account, which I'm not fully saying to make a fake account, but I'm saying make a fake account with like an average looking person that's got a base, an average number of followers, doing some average things, because you're a celebrity. So they're gonna like, what girlfriend?
I feel like that is the ultimate test. Like
that is true. Oh, that's true. That's true.
If I have a boyfriend, I want to know that if Rihanna messages him, he's about to.
But I don't know, because if Rihanna messages you, I get it.
You know what I mean? So I feel like that should be the ultimate, because I feel like if they pass that test, right? If Rihanna's in your DMs and you say no to her, you're gonna say no to anybody. You know what I mean? So a lot of girls will kind of feel like they'll think I'm, this beautiful, pretty girl, and they'll be like, you know what, like, yeah, like I want you to do it because, and not sometimes I'll be like, oh, like I can have like one of my friends do it, because sometimes guys get like suspicious because I have like, they're like, yo, like what's this kind of popular girl like fought like, you know what I mean? Like, and then like it's harder to stories. Like sometimes girls, they do not make it easy for me. They'll send me their boyfriend who like never posts, is like a ghost on social media, and doesn't have a public job. So I'm just like, we got to make it make sense. How did I find this man? Like,
yeah, like how are you supposed to do your detective work?
Yeah,
if there's nothing to work off of.
Yeah, they're just like, yo, like you just like you must have searched my name. Like, how else are you gonna find my Instagram?
Yeah, like there's no other way that you would have stumbled onto their page.
Yeah, not at all. But so it varies. But it's kind of the ultimate test. And there are some guys that
that's a good point.
Yo, like I have a girl, and I'm like, that's great, we love that. But then sometimes like I tell girls, I'm like, listen, like I'm not everybody's type, like you know what I mean, like just because your boyfriend denied me, like he might say yes to somebody else, but if it makes you feel better, if it helps you sleep at night that he said no to me, then cool, I'm gonna do that for you.
Are you charging people for this full-on detective work? This is awesome. I'm just kidding.
No, I don't. Like, yo, go stream my music, go drop a comment, go share it. That's one share is like $1 to me. So I'm like, yo, you want to pay me $10? Send it to 10 people. Like that's how I feel.
Yeah. Yes. I'm trying to think. There was what was that movie from, I don't know how old you are, so I don't even know if you saw John Tucker Must Die. This is giving me John Tucker Must Die vibes of like women banding together to catch the guy in the act.
The theme of like one of my music videos. You just gave me an idea. You just gave me an idea.
There you go. Especially for lies.
Rich, if you're in here,
we've got an idea. See, this is what happens when you talk things through. I love it. But that's actually a very good point that you bring up of like if a guy can pass you up, that does say a lot about, well, at least it helps them sleep a little bit better at night knowing that they were able to say no to you because you aren't. You are most people's type and not like an average person that maybe is going to come across average.
Thank you. I appreciate
I don't want to be mean to other people, but okay. So yeah, I like, I'm like, oh, Rich is here. He's taking notes. John Tucker Must Die is going to be the theme of a video. I love it. I love it. Especially if you're making these ladies anthems, you know, tap into some of these already done plots to be able to put something together.
Yeah.
Yes. So as you're working on, you mentioned there's a project you have coming up, lives you're putting together, and that's going to be dropping as well. Your audience is growing. What else is next for you as you're looking to continue taking that next step beyond just being TikTok detective, lies, and your project? You know, what's that next chapter for you? Because I feel like you right now probably have turned a major corner of really having your fans and your audience and music that you're putting out, content you're putting out regularly, but as you mentioned, sustaining that and now taking that to the next level. So what else can people expect from like the vibes and the sounds that you're going to be bringing forward in the future?
I mean, yeah, a lot of people will ask me like, oh, am I gonna always do like the detective videos, you know? And I'm like, I really don't know. I'm like, it's definitely like a core root of what I do. But I think again, always sticking with my core values of, you know, helping women and being that spokesperson and speaking up for, you know, women and just people in general who are kind of maybe don't have a voice. That's always going to be my mission. So it might not always look like the detective work. It might look like something else, you know, but people can always expect that, you know. So definitely through music, of course. I want to, you know, work on a studio album. I've never done like a full-blown album before, so I really want to work on that. And you know, again, just always keeping that mission of just helping people, helping women, whatever that might look like in the future. You know, maybe it might not be TikTok, it might be something else. I'm gonna start knocking on front doors. I really don't know. But at this point, it's whatever, you know, the besties need, whatever people need, that's what I'm gonna do. So that's kind of what's next for me. Just keeping my mission going.
I like it. Absolutely. And look, like I said before, you are doing something very great around even just creating music that'll help women work through, or anyone work through tough times, you know, whether it's somebody lying, cheating, working through a breakup, whatever it is hard emotionally and mentally to pick yourself up through that, to recognize your self-worth, to be confident, to continue to move forward when you've put so much time and energy or really liked someone and it didn't work out the way you wanted to. So I think even for that aspect of what you're doing with your music is just a great way to now help give others something to lean on. You know, like you said, it feels like you're their friend, you're having a conversation with them, they're sipping their wine, they're venting to you. Like that's the vibe that you're getting from your music. So definitely let people know all that you have going on between your merch and music, where they can follow and where they can support you as you also continue to grow and just do some incredible things.
Yes, yeah. So I mean, yeah. Well, look at you guys. You got it on.
I'm ready.
So Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everything is Law and Music. If you go to my Instagram, I have like the link in my bio. It will show you my latest music video, my latest merch, a text number. All of that is, you know, once you're on my Instagram, you can really find me anywhere. So yeah, that's definitely where y'all can find me. Go check out my latest music video, Controller. Okay, done and brought to you by Sloppy Vinyl. Also follow them on Instagram too. That is my team, my label. And there would be no Law with no Sloppy Vinyl. So go check out my music video, Controller, me, Sloppy, you know, and that's what I got going on.
Yeah, and for those that are also listening, before we wrap up, tell them what they can expect from Controller too. The music video is a vibe. Okay, I will tell you that. You looked awesome. I was like, okay.
That's one of my favorite ever. Yeah, Controller is definitely, you can get some sultry vibes from Controller for sure. So that's definitely what you can expect. But you gotta watch it. You know, you gotta really watch it to see. So, you know, check it out and then leave a comment below. Leave a comment on the video, comment on my Instagram, DM me, you know, tell me what you think of the video. I hope you guys like it.
Yes, it's fire. I was like, okay, outfit. Cheeky.
We try out here. We try our best.
Oh man, well, I really appreciate all that you are doing in music and to continue to put out songs that resonate so well with everybody, depending on what they're going through. There's always a way you can relate, whether you are just dancing and singing along, sipping your wine, sitting on the couch, whatever it is. So my last question to you is, being that you are someone, you know, out in the forefront, in the public in that sense, as a growing artist and model and all that you're doing, it takes a lot of courage. You know, even, I know we talk about your music video for Controller. I know for me personally, thinking back to where I was as a kid to now, I know I would not have had that self-esteem and confidence to be able to rock and be in a music video like that, you know? So I'm curious, you know, your last advice you'd give to own it, to own your beauty on the inside, on the out, your talents, that you would share with somebody that's listening.
Yeah, I mean, my advice to own it is just that you have to live in what it is that makes you different, because nobody is like you. So if you own what it is that makes you different, that is really your power, because then you realize that nobody can be you. Just like you can't be somebody else, nobody else can be you. And I think once you master that and you live in that, you're kind of untouchable. And I think that when you live in that mindset, you realize that there's room for everybody, because everybody is so different. And I think it kind of takes down a little bit of that like catty nature that girls can have, of like, nah, like I'm over here doing me and you're over there doing you, and there's room for everybody at this big old feast buffet that we're having, you know. So, you know, that's definitely my advice, is just own your individuality, own what makes you different, and, you know, just live in that and be who you are.
Amen to that. You are dropping so many just words of wisdom. Mic drop. Okay, you are okay. Own it. Yes, whatever. Whatever makes you different is what you add to the world. It's not a bad thing. It's a blessing. It's a good thing. So Thank you so much. It has been such a pleasure having you on. Look, but we had some Wi-Fi issues along the way. We kept trucking through this. This is how we, you know,
this is what we do.
Pivot, you adjust, and that's how we do.
Wi-Fi can't stop us. We always win.
Always winning. So thank you so much for taking time out of your Tuesday to join us here on Beyond the Headlines to share about your music. Congratulations on Controller and Overit, and best of luck with Lies and everything that's next.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This was really incredible. So I appreciate the time.
Of course. And thank you all, everybody, for tuning in. Rich, shout out to you for even taking a picture and posting it on Instagram of us while we're live right now. I appreciate you for dropping in. And for everybody that's tuning in, as always, you can catch us each and every week. We're live. We've got another episode live Thursday night as well. So we'll be right back here, and we'll have some great guests to join us for the show. So from myself, Renee, for our tremendous guest, Law, our artist spotlight for this episode, thank you for tuning in. And I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Only on Beyond the Headlines. This is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines. This is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines. This is Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington.